Mark Givens. I'm a small business consulting strategy firm is what I do for a living. I've been doing it now for more than 15 years. I've been in several independent businesses since 1989, but this is my passion. I wish I had discovered it more than 30 years ago and had the knowledge to actually proceed with it. But it's a rewarding and passionate business for me. From Cincinnati. Actually, I was born in the projects in Covington, and then we moved to the West End when I was about 2 years old. And then for about a year or so after that, we moved to North Avondale. So I grew up in North Avondale, off of Mitchell Avenue in the Glen Cross area. Oh, well, it was fantastic. It was friends that I still have today. Some of the leaders of the city and ministries around the city, they're gentlemen and ladies that I grew up with. And it's a powerful thing because we had a sense of community. Especially when it came to the black community, because whether you are a doctor or a fireman or a postman or a truck driver or whatever you might have done, we all lived together. We didn't have the suburban gated neighborhoods and things of that nature. We were all there together. Your school teachers and all came from your neighborhood. I mean, my high school counselor I grew up with her brother, is the same age as me, but she grew up 3 streets from me, and then when I got to high school, she was my counselor. I would have to say yes. You had, I didn't know it then, but it was very racially inclusive as well. But there was one time it was just really traumatic. It was in 1968. That could be Googled. Is where we had race riots, and people a lot of times think that, and it was in Avondale off of Reading Road, and people would think that it was like blacks against like racist or Klan type whites or whatever, but it was actually blacks and Jews going against each other. And it was on fire. And we had martial law, they had the National Guard riding around the neighborhoods. And when I would go to school, to North Avondale Elementary, when we went to school, the guys and ladies in the Black Panthers would be armed and they'd walk us to school and back home. So that actually happened, in our lives. And at that time, as far as like the black enterprise in Wall Street, I would say representation was Burnett Avenue. You had black barbershops and gas stations and restaurants and food stores and just clothing stores and salons and bars and whatever. It was just all pharmacy. It was all on Burnett Avenue. And so, my father and I would frequent that location a lot for haircuts and things of that nature and meet a lot of people. Yeah, I think it is a lot better now because when I started in business was in 1989. I had relocated to Atlanta, Georgia. And the thing that was missing for us as black entrepreneurs and startups was we didn't have mentorship. We didn't have, of course, we had the NAACP and the Urban League, but it wasn't the business nucleus that's set up now. The biggest difference now is that social media can be utilized to help benefit and communicate and reach out to people a lot easier. And then you can share information, and also you can share, how-to information, with individuals, not just in the local community, but worldwide. And so that makes it a great opportunity, for new startups and people that are trying to scale, that are currently been in business for a while. If you're seeking information, those platforms the social media platforms is a wonderful, wonderful tool. So we didn't have that. Everything was, you had to target, use the Graham McNally map, lay out your where you were going, and you didn't have cell phones. You had to stop at the gas station phone and call and find out if you were in the right area when you're trying to, attend a meeting with a prospect. And actually, I used to keep white shirts, and hung up in the car. So and then baby wipes so I can clean up under my arms from sweating, trying to be out in and out of the sun. And I kept like boxes with files in the trunk, so it's like a mobile office while they're marketing and selling. Cell phones came in, man. We thought we had something just amazing going on. They wasn't as smart as they are now, but it definitely helped the situation. So that's a major difference. Is the internet, smartphones, being able to reach out and connect to whomever you like. These days because of the internet and social media platforms. For every move that we make, we need to learn to do things as a joint venture. You don't have to be in a partnership with other businesses for a lifetime. You can pick a particular project that you're interested in, whether it's construction, whether it's landscaping, whether it's entertainment, whether it's if you're looking to produce your own movie. These days there's a lot of movies being produced and made here in Cincinnati. Whatever it is that you want to do, we need to learn to work together and do it as a regional. There might be businesses. Of course, we know that there's 6 major cities within an hour and a half of where Cincinnati is located. Right? There's black people and black business owners in all of these cities. And there's things that we could do jointly that, my company at Rise Business Solutions truly believe in. That if we do things, we can now become more of a primary, proposal submission versus just a minority of the proposal. And so then we could be more taken seriously because now we're looking at a combined joint venture and energies, whether it's manpower, whether it's tools, whether it's timing of completing a project, legal needs, financial needs, bringing those resources together. Some may have something that one business owner may have something that the other one doesn't, and then or may know someone that can help either business with a project. So yes, it's very important that we work together. It's inclusive, and I'm talking about with our men, with our women, with our young people developing that next generation to be developed to where they can come up and have the same mindset versus that I got mine, you get yours mentality. That's killing us. It says that we can't have major financial corridors in each of the neighborhoods that we're primarily living in and paying taxes in and property owners in. But as far as Avondale go, there's been a great push because of residents, black and white, that live in that area that has actually helped uplift it. I even noticed going down some of the side streets where some of the homes were becoming decayed, now they're starting to be refurbished and being rebuilt out. The only problem is that residents that were black that were lived there before are not. I'm not sure if they're able to keep those homes or those properties, or if they even own them at all. Because there's one of the biggest problems that I know that the city is addressing is that we have these slumlords that live out of the state. So they don't care what happens to them as long as they get their money. And so if we can become more home ownership and land ownership and then that's how we control whether or not we're in these nicely refurbished neighborhoods. But as far as because you have pockets in the West End that has a new business development that we have a nice representation. In the Uptown area, we have nice representation. And the Bond Hill area, when you get to Reading Road and up there's a lot of black businesses there. Roseline is starting to also, you can see right there, they're starting to increase with a presence of black businesses, at storefronts or whatnot. But even when it comes to the professional services, we have to seek each other out and help each other, and allow, individuals like myself and my team to actually support what you're doing, allow us to help you scale, why can't you buy a small mall, and you don't have to do it by yourself. Again, joint ventures, partnerships. We have a lot of people that are in construction and refurb, and they're out here doing flipping houses, refurbishing, selling, and it's a lot of black talented people. What business have we ever worked for that we didn't have to be the best to maintain or keep the job? So when we leave those majority-owned companies and work on our own, and we get licensed and the equipment and the insurance, and we have we have the skill set, why wouldn't you call them? If you ever heard that adage, oh yeah, black businesses, don't do a good job, or they charge too much and all that stuff, right? Well, who started that myth? That's not true. The thing is that what happens is that people have their own equipment, they go buy their own supplies, and they find a dude down the street that's not working, and he said, what it usually costs you a $2,000 job, as an example, he said, I could do it for 200. And then he get up there and mess your roof up, and now you talk about what black businesses don't do. Well, you didn't have a black business from the beginning, So stop putting that on the shoulders of legitimate business owners, because there's lots of us here. That's an excellent question. I will say this: the current administration is wonderful. I think that the commissioners of the city of Hamilton County is a good group as well. I do believe that there's a lot of support in the Office of Inclusion. A lot of times we get involved there, but the problem, I wouldn't say it's a problem, I think the only barrier is that when a small black-owned business that's an independent owner or whatnot, they have difficulty finding the hours to be able to participate and engage our municipality when it comes to being a minority certified business, understanding, where the money is flowing, and how many of our businesses know that they have grants, for small businesses, even startups, and so that being communicated. So then that's where, the media and communication has to come in. But who says that we can use the platform of social media to our advantage? We don't have to wait for the local TV channels to announce anything. We can build out that information, but as long as we support it and we share posts, with each other, it can get out to 1 million people. Who doesn't realize that Cincinnati, a lot of people don't realize that we're 42% black. That's a lot of people. And have one of the strongest economies in America. I think that the latest number was like we're the 7th strongest economy in America. And then Atlanta is 8th. But everybody want to go to Atlanta and don't realize you're right in the middle of it. And you know this terrain. So so I think that our municipalities are doing a good job, because one of the things that they did when they started the Office of Inclusion, they stuck to it, and it's grown. It's gotten a lot easier to apply and whatnot, and they're there to help, and they don't mind helping. And so that's what we have to just do, is that I think we just need to get a thrust independently, not independently, but as a group of people, business owners, and have our own business organizations and groups, where we can call it the Avondale, business consortium, for instance, that all small businesses can meet. Because one of the biggest problems too, when it comes to a small business, we work late hours. And so to try to participate in a municipality, they close it at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Well, we can't get there, because we don't close to 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. So, but I do believe that some of those services that are offered to us, yes, you can find things online, but if you need things explained to you, it should be a helpline or people available that maybe work from 3 to 10. A small nucleus of people that can answer questions and nothing else, with a helpline. So there's some things that, we can suggest that, but we have to participate for them to know how to help us. It's not just what they do. What do we want? And we have to be able to communicate that clearly.